2018. And sacrifice. For the poor audio there. The federal government has declared Friday, March 30th and April 2nd, 2018 as public holidays to mark Good Friday and Easter Monday. The Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Damazar, retired, made the declaration on behalf of the federal government in a statement on Tuesday in Abuja by the director overseeing the office of the Permanent Secretary, Julie Ejiofor. The minister admonished Christian faithful and Nigerians in general to implore the spiritual ethos of Easter, which include love, peace, and sacrifice in contributing to the unity and peaceful coexistence among Nigerians. He also urged Nigerians to remain supportive of the government of President Muhammadu Buhari in his efforts towards building a peaceful, united, and prosperous nation. In the same vein, the Lagos State government has declared Thursday, March 29, tomorrow, as public holiday in the state. According to the state government, this is to enable Lagos residents come out and welcome President Muhammadu Buhari, who is set to visit the state. In a statement issued on Tuesday by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Kehinde Bamigbeton, the government also announced traffic diversions and alternative routes ahead of the presidential visit, which will take place between March 29 and 30. During the visit, President Buhari is expected to commission the new Ikeja bus terminal, attend a colloquium in honor of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also embark on a tour of the Eco-Atlantic city, amongst others. A Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Imohimi Edgar, at a press briefing equally said adequate preparations have been made to mitigate the impact of the road diversions on residents, while access would be given to any emergency. The Senate has emphasized the need to make provisions for human capacity development in the 2018 budget. Senate members expressed this view at the opening of a two-day public hearing on the 2018 budget organized by the Joint National Assembly Committee on Appropriation. Details in this report.
Declaring open a two-day public hearing on the 2018 budget, Senate President Bukola Saraki said Nigeria needs to prioritize human capital development in the spendings, even as it focuses on infrastructural projects. The session was premised at providing an avenue for richer inputs from Nigerians at all levels.
Not continue to take lip service when agencies who are part of this change of fighting corruption, blocking leakages, are continuing to run the agencies without having not to submit their budget. If Mr. President can submit the national budget in November, I cannot see any excuse why the MD or head of an agency can decide up to March and still not submit. We must find a solution to this, and I hope that this forum will use the opportunity going forward, reaching a conclusion in this area, which was very important.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, assured that more emphasis will be paid on getting revenue projections right in the future. Chairman of the appropriation committees in both chambers acknowledged numerous petitions, complaints, and recommendations to expunge inappropriate and wasteful estimates by a number of MDAs in their possession.
If not for zonal intervention projects, many communities in Nigeria would never have enjoyed any form of federal government patronage. My constituency is an example. Put differently, zonal intervention projects represent the only evidence of federal government presence in most rural communities in Nigeria. I stand to be contradicted. Consequently, as representatives of the people, no amount of blackmail from any quarters will force us to abandon our resolve to ensure even development. The quality of the budget is not in its size or content, but it is in its effective implementation. I will therefore employ stakeholders and indeed all Nigerians that as they are beginning to show interest in the budget-making process, they should show even greater interest in the implementation of approved budgets.
We are all scientists and laboratory technicians ready to mix and condition chemicals in the recently launched ERGP laboratory to get the best result for our people. The hearing is also an entrenched part of the 8th National Assembly legislative agenda of openness in governance and public sector matters. Because the people we represent deserve to know and should know how their Commonwealth is being shared.
For the Minister of Budget and National Planning, it was an opportunity to elaborate on the expected gains of the 2018 budget. Meanwhile, subcommittees saddled with the responsibility of interfacing with various MDAs on their 2018 estimates are expected to hand in their reports latest Thursday, March 29.
The total revenue that we project, federal government share of the revenue, will be 2.441 trillion naira. That is all revenue. We also have the share of Nigeria's, the country's dividends from NLNG set at 29.92 billion naira. We have the share of federal government share of mineral revenue set at 1.17 billion naira. The share of non-oil revenue to the federal government is set at 1.385 trillion naira. And this is, of course, made up of CIT, VAT, customs revenue, and also other federation account levies.
The event was attended by ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, international development partners, civil society organizations, and other critical stakeholders.
The federal government has asked the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to go the whole hog with its apology to Nigerians by returning all the alleged funds looted from the public treasury under its watch during its 16 years in power. In a statement issued in Abuja on Tuesday, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, also challenged the party to show the genuineness of its apology through a discernible change of attitude. Reacting, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, said it did not loot any public fund, accusing the All Progressives Congress, APC, of looting funds from some states to sponsor the presidential election in 2015. Lai Mohammed's reaction followed the apology made by the national chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, at the party's sanction in Abuja on Monday, where he asked Nigerians to forgive the party. In security matters, the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, and the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, have called on the federal government to act fast in securing the release of the last Dapchi school girl, Leah Sharibu, still held captive by Boko Haram terrorists. Afenifere also called on the United Nations to investigate incessant killings by Fulani herdsmen across Nigeria. Afeniferi's position was contained in a communique issued at the end of its monthly meeting held at the residence of its leader, Reuben Fashion in Akure, the Ondo State capital, while the PFN was contained in a statement signed by its national president, Reverend Felix Omobude, on Tuesday. The Pan-Yoruba group's communique was read to journalists by its publicity secretary, Yinka Odumakin. The coalition of 46 political associations in Daura zone of Katsina State have commended the Nigerian Armed Forces for resilience, determination, and commitment to the promotion of peace and unity of Nigeria. The zonal chairman of the coalition, Ali Rabi, who made the recommendation during a conference in Daura, said the armed forces had maintained a track record of achievement in numerous peacekeeping operations. He maintained that many members of the armed forces had sacrificed their comfort and pleasure towards making Nigeria great by ensuring lasting peace and stability of the nation. He also lauded the service chiefs for their loyalty, commitment, and unwavering support towards the corporate existence of Nigeria. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has suspended 205 officials over various unwholesome roles in the 2015 general elections. INEC's chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, made this known yesterday in a keynote address at a national colloquium organized by the Independent Service Delivery Monitoring Group, ISDMG, in Abuja. He said the interdiction recommended by INEC's Appointments, Promotion and Discipline Committee, APDC, was the highest so far. Mahmoud said constructive criticisms from the public had helped the Commission to get better in delivering its mandates vis-a-vis conducting credible elections for Nigeria. The INEC chairman said the determination to make outcomes of elections credible informed the engagement of tested and trusted members of the academic community as coalition officers. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in the same vein, says 6,906,411 Nigerians have registered to vote between April 2017 and March 2018, amounting to a sum of 75,739,887 registered voters in the country. INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu disclosed this in Abuja and said Rivers had the highest number of newly registered voters. Other states that followed in order of sequence include Anambra, Borno, Delta, Lagos, Cross River, Osun, Enugu, Kano, and Plateau states. He also said that a comprehensive list of the newly registered voters would be published on the Commission's website before the end of the week. Yakubu described the high number of registration as a laudable achievement because approximately 7 million people would have been disenfranchised in the 2019 general election. You're still watching SuperScreen's Midday News. We'll take a short break here for some messages, after which we'll bring you business news. To stay. Welcome back. Now in business world, the federal government will on Thursday unveil transaction advisors who were recently appointed for the establishment of a national career and concession of the country's 4 major international airports. Reports say the transaction advisors handling some other key projects would also be unveiled by the government. They include advisors on the establishment of maintenance, repair and overhaul centers, development of cargo and agro-allied terminals, the establishment of an aviation leasing company, and development of aerotropolis or airport centers. The Deputy Director of Public Affairs at the Aviation Arm of the Ministry, James Odaudu, said the forum would enable Sirica to provide updates on developments within the sector and in particular unveil the transaction advisors recently appointed by the federal government for key projects in the aviation sector. The federal government has earmarked the sum of 13 billion naira for housing projects in the 2018 budget. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, disclosed this at the conclusion of the budget defense for the housing sector at the floor of the Senate. According to the minister, the 13 billion naira is to be injected into completion of housing projects across the country, out of which 10 billion naira will be used to expand on the completion of building projects.
The 36 billion is the inherited liabilities pre-2015 from 1999 backwards. That's the liabilities that we inherited as it relates to those constituency and intervention and MDG projects. Now, the 13 billion that we propose for this year is to spend only 3 billion on any new projects and use 10 billion to complete some of these projects and begin to partly wind down that 36 billion. Because some of them have left site, now that they see that government is committing funding by budget, some of them have popped up again. And we're saying, go and finish. We'll pay you. So that's our plan.
Leader of the Senate Committee on Housing, Barnabas Jamadi, expressed delight at the transparent and prompt conclusion of the budget defense and equally called on other ministries to follow suit, while Senator representing Anambra Central, Victor Ume, called on the minister to find ways of reducing costs for the federal government.
The report as we see it today, I know that many of them have been working weekend hours into the night to make sure that they produce what we have here today.
I'd like to emphasize more on the need for this national housing scheme. The reason being that I am aware that there are so many players in the real estate sector of the economy. Private developers, all manners of people are involved, PPP with some state governments, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, what is most important is the affordability of the houses that these schemes turn out. And most of them are driven by profit-making motives, and people have heavier reliance on what the federal government can do for the citizens in terms of social responsibility.
Senator representing Anambra Central, Victor Ume, speaking there. Now, the United Nations UN says it has allocated $11 million, equivalent of 4 billion naira, to help 60,000 internally displaced people in Borno and other humanitarian operations in the northeast. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, who disclosed this, said $9 billion, about 3.2 billion naira, would be used to provide life-saving and for some 60,000 people displaced by the ongoing Boko Haram crisis in Borno. The UN Relief Agency explained that the money was an allocation from the UN-managed country-based Humanitarian Assistance Fund. You're still watching SuperScreen's media news. We'll take a short break here, after which we'll bring you news from the foreign scene and then sports. Join us again.